How do you actually package up all your different interests into one thing that is valuable for other people that you can sell and make money with? I personally made 48K per month with my agency by actually taking all my different interests and skills and weird passions that I had and packaging this up into something unique and that makes me stand out in the marketplace that can't be copied that easily. And in this video, I'm gonna show exactly my process, what I thought when I did this, and how you can copy this and do it yourself. So let's take a look at it. So before I started my agency, I was kind of dabbling into different business models, and I tried a little bit of e-commerce, I tried a little bit of Amazon FBA, I tried a little bit of affiliate marketing, I tried building a YouTube channel, those were the main things I actually tried making money with. And what ended up sticking was me building a service-based business or marketing agency where I work with coaches, consultants, trainers, and experts, and then I help them build their brand and scale them and do the copywriting, the branding, all these different things for them. And what I went through when I was thinking of what to do and what kind of I want to go into and what combines all these unique skills that I have, I did the following. So for one thing, I wrote down all the things I'm uniquely good at. And I have this right here. Okay, so I sat down and I really just took time to really understand, okay, what am I actually good at? Not just the things I'm interested in, but what am I actually good at, like better than the average person, I'd say. Good marker is that I use is if people ask me for advice in this thing, then I know more than the average person. And for me, it was cooking, it was storytelling, especially written stuff and things like this, then video marketing, working out marketing concepts and creative directing. So on video shoots and stuff like this, I wasn't the guy behind the camera and I wasn't the guy in front of the camera, but I was directing the entire thing, especially when it came down to doing branding videos and new campaigns that we shot for marketing purposes. Then I'm somewhat good at interior design, not amazing, but I have some feel for it. I'm really good at coaching and listening to people. Writing and copywriting, I can think in pictures very clearly and I can break things down. So when there's a million different things, I can see pretty clearly what is the next step and what we actually need to do and what we shouldn't be doing. So once I had this, I had my list of what I'm good at. But obviously, this is not enough because just because you're passionate about it and just because you're good at it doesn't mean other people are willing to give you money for this. In order for other people to give you money for it, it has to be valuable for them and it has to solve some kind of problem for them and help them to get from their current to their desired situation. So the next layer is actually to ask myself, like, what can I be paid for? What are people willing to pay me money for? And you can do this in two ways. You can just ideate, and nowadays you can also use AI for it. The other thing is to actually look back, and maybe you probably do, you have some history of things where people paid you money for something. Write that down. What is this? Okay. So for me, it was social media marketing content. I remember that was way in the beginning. I went to a conference and I met this one guy, and at this conference we were sitting in small circles and everybody was sharing kind of some insights and some learnings they had, and I shared all the stuff I did with my Amazon FBA business, where I just started. And this guy came up to me and he was like, hey, can you help me do my social media as well for my business? And I was like, okay. And he offered me some money for it. He paid me like, I don't know, 1K. That was my first client. And I was still a student back in the time. So that was kind of the breakthrough that you can actually make money with this stuff. And he paid me for it, for like social media marketing, for content, for all this stuff. Then for video marketing, I got paid. Then I did some mindfulness and meditation training, and I had a coaching thing for a while. For e-commerce and brand building, people would pay me. Coaching and consulting, YouTube, I could be paid for. Chef and cooking, if I were to really go into, but you can be paid for. And again, it doesn't mean people paid me for cooking, but potentially I'm good at cooking, and if I go into it and maybe I go to culinary school and go really deep into it, people would pay me for cooking. I mean, people spend a lot of money on restaurants. There are restaurants all over the place. a lot of them looking for cooks. So there's a lot of money to be made, and I can get easily a job there if I'm somewhat good at it. Okay. And I could also be paid for like branding and design, like web design, designing logos. I could learn this and people would pay me for this stuff. Once I have this dialed in, I actually need to ask myself, like, what kind of stuff does the world need? Because it's one thing if people pay you for something, but if they don't really need this because the desire they have or they had in the moment is not there right now, then they're not willing to spend money once their problem is solved. So the world also needs to have this problem so you can come in and solve it with your unique way of solving problems. And in my thinking, the world needed social media. I mean, businesses need social media marketing. Businesses also need copywriting. They also need Facebook marketing. This is more like on the personal level that I believe people need more authenticity, more connection, more mindfulness, proper nutrition, healthy diet, exercise, sustainability somewhat as well, and consciousness. Those were more like, I'd say like more internal things, and the other ones are more like business kind of things. And then the last one is to just ask myself, what kind of stuff do I love? In my case, it was meditation, yoga, Eastern philosophy, video marketing, creative directing, marketing strategy and stuff like this, gym, fitness, cooking, grocery shopping, food, not grocery shopping, but food. I'm really passionate about food, personal development, traveling, homemaking, gardening, cafes and restaurants, and high quality organic foods and stuff like this. Okay, and once I have all of this together, I have a clear picture of all these different things, then I can use this, which is my Ikigai, and you probably all heard of this concept, but it's incredibly useful to get you into a direction and to see how you can actually package your unique skill set. And what I came up with at the end of the day was I could be a creative director for health and wellness brands. Okay, so creative strategist is something people pay really good money for, especially in e-commerce brands, and I could work somewhere there. I could also build my own D2C brand in the health and wellness niche, because you see, it all connects like the things I'm good at, brand building, marketing, copywriting, videos, things like this. Then I can be paid for this as well. Like, I mean, again, there are jobs in there, people pay you for it. It also has the things that I believe the world needs, healthy nutrition, mindfulness, because it's in the health wellness niche. For example, if I build an e-com store or I work with an e-commerce brand that sells like yoga stuff or meditation things, then I will probably also connect deeply to this purpose of what I love and what I believe the world needs. And I could start a YouTube channel around mindfulness and healthy living, branding, creative direction, writing, building a personal brand, and many, many more things. And once you have this list and you have like a rough idea of all the ikigais you can potentially go into, you have to start to form a hypothesis. Okay, so because this list right now is cool to look at and it might give you a direction, but then you actually have to start taking this and putting your speed on the street, or your horsepower on the street, as they say. Okay, and what I settled on after I did this exercise, exactly what I said in the beginning, that I want to work with coaches, consultants, experts, and trainers and these people, and especially people that make your life better and in the mindfulness, personal development niche somewhat, and help them to scale through like videos, copywriting, Facebook ads, funnels, design, branding, all these aspects, so full service kind of, and do those things for these people. Okay. And once I came to this decision and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do, then what I have is, again, an hypothesis. I don't know if this is actually going to be the thing, if this will be my ikigai. Things can change. So I have to go out and I have to test this. So what you need to do then, and what I did as well, I started really, really small. The first client I've gotten was, I was in a mentoring program around like getting clients and things like this. And I talked to this guy. He was the coach of the thing. And I started working for him for free. I was like, hey, I want to work with coaches. I want to work with brands. I want to do these and these and these things. Let me just do this for you. So I started doing this for him for free. And I loved it. I felt extremely energized by it. I felt pumped by it. I was excited. And the results were also good. The guy was happy. So then I went out, I started slowly approaching some new clients. I got another client for like very cheap money, I think like 1 or 2K per month, and got my next client. I still loved it. I still improved it. And over time, by working with these clients, I could also just go back to them and I was like, hey, why do you think I'm different? Like, why did you start working with me and not some other guy? Because I'm not the only one doing this thing. And what came out is that a lot of these skill sets that I had, like my unique things that I was good at and what I loved and my interests and my passions, that all of these different things you have as a multi-potentialite, they were actually kind of my USP. Because he told me like, hey, for one, I can really put myself into the shoes of my audience and people and really feel into their pain and their frustrations, which makes you a very powerful copywriter because I'm able to then write in words that trigger those exact emotions because I understand these emotions so well. That was one thing. The other thing is that I also had the skill of video marketing because I did the YouTube stuff before and I was really into YouTube. So when we did like shootings for branding campaigns and building these personal brands, then I was always there as the director and guiding the entire thing and telling them what kind of pictures we have, what kind of clothes they should be wearing, what kind of angles we should be doing, the locations we need to pick in order to make this a cohesive picture. I was also good at design, and I not incredibly good, but I had some interest because I did some web design before and I was into web design for a while. So I was able to also build all the funnels myself and I could make them look really nice and they sounded cool. Then again, I was able to write the copies myself. And I was also into Facebook ads and I could run all these Facebook ads myself. And what happened is that was a massive differentiator because most of these freelancers and agencies and stuff like this, they only really know a few things. Like a lot of them, they only can run Facebook ads really well, but they're not really good at building funnels. And then you have a lot of guys that are really technical and they know how to set up campaigns and stuff like this, but they are really shitty copywriters and they just can't feel into people. And since I could somewhat better than the average person, all of these different things, I had an offer that is extremely unique and it was just very hard to compare to other people. And because of that, I started to get more and more clients and I was able to charge more because I also got better at these things. And this allowed me to actually then scale to 48K per month with this agency because I had this unique skill set and something very unique, okay?